Good morning, good afternoon, and konbanwa wherever you are in the world. This is Rita Kamishiro, and you are now listening to the comfiest corner of the internet, RKNGL Radio, where you can kick back, relax, and enjoy the company of me, all of the amazing archangels we have here, as well as my wonderful guest this morning, Sara Nagare. Sara, please introduce yourself.
Oh, stop it, wonderful guest. Hi everyone, this is Sara Nagare, the serpent storyteller of Prism Project Generation 4, here to create history and also here to have a wonderful Archangel Radio with lovely Rita Senpai.
Oh, no, you're lovely. Thank you so much.
No, you.
I can already tell all of the archangels are, and the Saramoors, is that correct?
Yes, Sarah was correct.
Yes, I'm sure that we're all excited to see you here in the studio, ready for a fun Archangel Radio. I know I am. And Sara, it's been about, 1 month? A little over 1 month? How long has it been?
Yes. Yeah, 1 month and 1 week since debut. So it feels like no time has passed at all, as well as I've been here forever. So a very strange feeling of both.
It really is. And I think I told you yesterday when we were getting ready for our collaboration. It feels like you all have been here for such a long time. And I feel you all are such an integral part of our family already.
It made me really warm inside to hear that when you said it.
Oh, well, I hope you know it makes me feel very warm inside that you're finally collaborating with me. I'm really excited. So I can also tell the archangels how are having a good time. Oh, goodness. Well, it is now about 4 minutes past the hour. And did you know that some areas in the world go by the half hour, too?
Oh.
Yeah, they're like half an hour off of, the usual hour. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it would be like 34 rather than 04, right?
Right, yeah. Isn't that strange? But today's program will feature a story time segment opened by our wonderful serpentine storyteller, followed by a music moment, and ending with our main content of the evening, a reflection on the year past and resolutions for the year to come. So if you've been wondering what sort of mindset to have going into 2022, let's talk about it. Hopefully you'll find what you're looking for in today's episode of Archangel Radio. Yay!
Yay!
But before we transition, before we have Sara transition, how are the archangels doing today? How are you doing today, Sara?
I'm doing well. It's a little bit late for me now, but it's actually, I like that we're doing this comfy, cozy Archangel Radio because it'll help me get in the mindset to sleep and wake up with renewed energy to go towards my goals and my resolutions.
Oh, I'm so happy and honored to hear that. Oh my gosh. Oh no, looks like some of the archangels didn't get enough sleep. I told Sara I stayed up a little bit just doing some drawing. Oh gosh, but you spent some time with Non earlier, is that right?
Yes. I was just in Non's Endurance 16 hours stream. The vibes were very different to Archangel Radio, but I can tell she's having a very fun time, and so all of the people in Non's chat as well.
Yeah, I agree. I stopped by a little earlier, so if you want to, she's doing an endurance stream for the next a few hours. So please do stop
I think
by.
she still has about 8 hours left.
Yeah. My goodness. So at some point, do stop by and wish her some luck. Oh gosh. Well, with that, Sara, would you like to introduce the topic of our first segment?
Yes. So first of all, we'll be sharing some stories. And I think we were discussing this before, and we decided that we would talk about our favorite stories, not necessarily ones that we've read recently, but potentially ones that, we really enjoyed either growing up or have had a really sort of pivotal impact on us as readers. So, yeah, did you want me to take it away, Rita?
Yes, indeed. Go right ahead.
All right, so I think what I wanted to share with you all today was it's not so much one particular book, but a series that I really enjoyed. And I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with it in the chat. I'm not sure if any Archangels have read this particular series, but it's the Discworld group of novels by the British author Terry Pratchett. He since passed away, so it's not as if there will be any more Discworld novels coming, but they were quite a comprehensive series of books. And the reason why I started reading it was because Snack Papa, he had the whole collection when I was growing up.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's like, as a young avid reader, as someone who really enjoyed reading books, I couldn't wait to get my hands on more books. So when there's a whole collection of books in front of you, of course you want to read them. But unfortunately, they were all a bit too, I guess, grown up for young Sarah at the time. A lot of the language went way over my head. A lot of the plot lines also went over my head. But there was one in particular that Snack Papa recommended to me called We Free Men, and that was aimed at younger readers. So it was kind of that bridge that I could use to get into the rest of the books when I was older and I could understand a bit more. So I'll always have very fond memories of reading that series of novels, as well as We Free Men in particular.
Oh, wow. And was that called the Discord series? Is that correct?
Discworld. So
Discworld,
it was about it's basically a fantasy novel series that's quite comedic, but it's about a fantasy world that was on top of a turtle. Like, it's a disc on top of 4 elephants who are on top of a turtle, and it floats through space.
Oh, wow. And so what was the premise of the story? It looks like some of the Archangels have read this book, but for those who haven't gotten the chance, if you could, summarize the plot.
Well, I guess each of the books sort of just takes place in this world. So there's a couple of there are different stories that involve certain main characters. The one I was talking about before, the We Free Men, it features a young witch called Tiffany Aching. And there's about five or so novels, I think, that go through her journey to become a full-fledged witch, starting from when she's about 9 years of age. So it's a very good, if you have young readers yourselves, or if you just want, I'd say it's I'd recommend it for readers young and old, but if you're just looking for some light reading to get into the series, I think it's a good starting point as any.
Wow, like a coming of age story almost.
Yeah, it is. And I like those things, especially when I was growing up. It's like when you're going through that sort of turbulent moment of growing up, it's nice to have stories that you can relate to that'll push you to do the things that you want to do.
And how do you think this book series has affected who you are today? Like, is there anything, I don't know, more directly, like anything and any characteristic of yourself today that you feel like has been directly or maybe indirectly influenced by the series?
Well, I think just a love of words, and I think it really helped continue that love of reading. That I actually just thinking about this and brainstorming about the topics beforehand made me really nostalgic for reading this series and reading these books. So I might over the holidays might start reading some of the books again.
Oh my gosh! In preparation for today, I was also thinking about, maybe I should pick up a book and read it over the holiday break. And I'm thinking of picking up one of the Mass Effect novels that the Archangels have recommended.
That would be great. I've played the first 2 Mass Effect games. I haven't played the third one, but it's a really good series, and I'm really glad that you're playing through it, Rita.
It's bringing back a lot of memories from when I was younger. So, but also a lot of it I haven't played before. So, it's new and old. Oh gosh. But thank you for sharing that lovely story. I'll have to go check that out. That's Discworld by
Discworld.
Sir Terry Pratchett.
Terry Pratchett. Yes, Sir Terry Pratchett. He was even knighted for his contributions to the literary world. So obviously it's got to be good, right?
Yes. I didn't know that. That's lovely. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I feel like I've learned a little bit more about you, and it makes me happy, knowing about this part of your life. But do check it out, Archangels, if you haven't had the chance to. And Archangels, do let me know which of the Mass Effect books to read. Oh gosh. Well,
Rita
I guess,
wants your reading list.
Yes, I do. Do you read a lot of books these days?
Oh, I probably don't read as much as I should. Like, as someone who definitely grew up with a voracious love of reading, I feel like I've kind of dropped off the wagon. In recent years. It's because life's so busy, and it's very hard to sit down with a book these days and just turn everything off. Do you find the same thing yourself, Rita?
I will have to say it's been. I remember being younger and reading lots of books, but now I can't remember the last time I picked up a book. So maybe this will be this stream will be my chance to dive back into a book once again.
I feel like these days I find myself reading more nonfiction, or just like reading, like, I don't want to say self-help books, but like books that go into like, you know, how humans work and trying to figure out, you know, that sort of thing. But I feel like there's a certain magic of reading genre fiction or literary fiction that I want to try and recapture in the future again, because it was just, I remember being a kid and getting lost in these worlds and it being so fun.
Well, if I pick up the book series, if I pick up the Mass Effect novel series, I will let you know how that goes.
Oh, please! I would love to read them if they are a good read.
Radio Book Club.
That could be fun.
But before I share my story, I just wanted to say you're looking absolutely lovely in your Christmas outfit. I think the Archangels have mentioned too a few times. We look so festive. And I hope you all
thank you.
Lovely... Go ahead.
Thank you for the compliments, Archangels. I think both Rita and I look stunning, but I didn't want to say it. Thank you for saying it yourselves.
I just wanted to say that because, you know, they were being so kind as to compliment us. So I thought I'd bring it up before I share my story. Now, I along the vein of childhood books, I have such a bad memory when it comes to in general, I have a bad memory, but I think in my childhood, I forget a lot of things. But I will have to say the one book series, I barely remember, you know, what happened in it, but I remember one book series that absolutely, you know, enraptured me was Dragon Keeper by Carol Wilkinson. And if I remember correctly, it was a trilogy. And I think that really, you know, opened up my eyes to the fun and the excitement of literature and just fantasy in general. But it's set in ancient China, Han Dynasty, and it's about a slave girl who saves this old dragon and escapes her master, who is really, you know, evil. And unfortunately, the dragon himself was also being pursued by a dragon hunter. They kind of make this epic journey across China, and they have this stone that they protect, and really essentially the story is about the young girl who feels like she's not worthy of a name. She's nameless. She feels like she's not worthy of having a name, but she finds strength and courage, you know, within herself as she makes this journey. And, you know, she learns a lot. So I'd have to say that is the most impactful story from my childhood. I think just seeing her journey of growth and I guess coming of age as well was very impactful.
Yeah. I was going to say, it sounds like another sort of like coming of age growth story that you could probably relate to as like when you're a young girl, and just that sort of strength of character, that growth of character.
Most definitely. And there's actually one specific, so I don't remember a lot of the major storylines, but for some reason there was this one detail that really struck like a chord with me. And so the slave girl obviously wasn't educated. She wasn't allowed to be educated growing up, so she didn't know like math or like anything like that. And so the dragon had asked her to count something. I think it was like counting the number of merchants or counting the number of vehicles or something. And she said, I don't know how to count. I don't know how to, you know, I don't know anything about math. And it was really frustrating for her, but the dragon said, well, let me put it this way, and kind of put math and counting in a different light, and kind of try to explain it to her in a way that maybe wasn't conventional in terms of learning how to do math, but to her it made sense, and she was able to visualize in a way that to her made lots of sense. And I don't know why that struck a chord with me. I think, I feel like growing up I always had a different way of learning things, and I really appreciated that, like knowing that there's not one way to learn, there's not one way to be a student, and yeah, I don't know, it really struck a chord to me, so much so that it stuck with me to this day.
That's exactly the takeaway I think you should have had, because it's like, it really shows that even though she wasn't, formally educated, she still had that intelligence about her, and it shows that it's not a barrier to being, I guess, a critical thinker, or a person who can,
right, think
creatively, or
you hear that, archangels?
To be formally trained.
growth mindset. Okay, if you feel like you're in a spot where there's no way up for you, or you feel like there's not getting any better, it's within you. You just gotta find the angle that works for you. So have that growth mindset. I know you can do it.
See, Rita Senpai's cheering you on, so if she can cheer you on, you can do anything.
Oh my gosh. I do what I can. But yeah, I don't know. I really like how stories have, I don't know, a lesson or a takeaway that can be really profound and helpful for people, even if, it wasn't meant to be. Now, when you choose a story to read, or I know we both don't read very many novels, but whether it's a video game or an anime, when you go into a series, do you feel like there's ever something you're looking for, or like, does that make sense? Do you ever feel like you're looking for a message, or are you more so looking for like a mood?
I feel like it's more of the, the vibe of the thing. So it's more about, I guess, just when I get in there, just feeling either an instant connection to the world or the characters that make me want to keep going. Yeah. So it's either if it's set in an interesting setting or world that I want to explore alongside the characters, or if the character itself that they introduced to me at the beginning is so compelling that I feel like I need to find out what happens. Those are usually the two hooks that will drag me into a story.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. And I'm sure the archangels feel similar. And I just want to say, before we move on from this topic, I just want to say, we all believe in you all. I think I just wanted to mention that from earlier. I don't want to spend too much time on that topic, but I just want to let you all know, Sarah and I believe in you all very much, and that is my takeaway from the novel that I spoke about. And I think we had one other question too. This might be a little bit off topic, but one of the archangels was wondering if you recall what alignment you played when you played Mass Effect.
I cannot remember at all, but it probably would have been like, what are the alignment names?
It's Paragon
again?
And Renegade. So
Paragon... I was definitely a Paragon.
Oh, good. I mean, to each your own.
I can't play a rebel. In any sort of fantasy game that has an alignment, I'm always some kind of lawful good. Or...
I can count the number of renegade choices I made. The first one being was because there was a funny joke that you could make, and apparently it counted as renegade. So I chose it. I made a funny joke. We laughed about it. The other time was because I was spoiled. What happens? They said if you do the renegade choice, somebody dies now, like an evil person dies now, but you save a lot of people later. So I was like, okay, I don't feel good about this, but we have to save as many of the good guys as possible. But I can't believe though.
I can't believe that Mass Effect really said you can't be a paragon and funny.
I know. Well, oh gosh. I think you can be a paragon and funny because you're a good person and you're funny.
Oh, stop it. So. I can't take it when Rita Senpai compliments me. It does things to me.
Luto's always like, how do you do that? Why do you do that? I'm like, do what? And she's like, say all those things like that. I'm like, well, I don't know. It just comes to me, and I say what I feel. Oh gosh, but I think we're due for a music moment. Are you excited? Are you excited for some music? I know I am.
Oh, I'm definitely excited for the music moment.
Yes, let's bring up the energy just a little bit with today's music moment. We have two fantastic songs for you today, and they're actually very topically relevant. I mean, usually
Yes.
I think my music moments are topically relevant. So, Sarah, just in case you don't know how music moment goes, we usually like to have, we usually hop into the chat. So as the music plays and everybody listens to it, you and I can go into the chat and talk to everyone. Usually I don't say anything during the music moment itself, but if you want to continue interacting with the Archangels and the Saramores, I don't know if you have the YouTube chat up right now, but I can give you.
I have the YouTube chat up. It's okay. I will be there.
Oh gosh.
And I want everyone to listen to this and really enjoy it. So I will partake in the chatting through text.
Oh my gosh. Well, would you like to introduce the first one? I think all the Archangels have just heard this, but maybe for those who
Yes.
haven't heard it yet, would you like to introduce it?
Of course. You may have heard of this yesterday, or actually yesterday in most time zones. But this was Prism's latest group cover. It was of a very topical song, Snow Halation. The All I Want for Christmas of the Wii world, right?
Wait, shall I explain that? Shall I explain why?
Please explain. It's hilarious.
So I FaceTime my family quite a bit, and my sister was on the phone, and she said something along the lines of, I feel like Snow Halation is the All I Want for Christmas Is You of the Weeb world. And so I said, that's so funny. Let me share that on Twitter. And it's sitting at 7,000 likes on Twitter. Arguably my most popular tweet by a long shot. And I did not expect it to blow up like that. Apparently, everyone has very strong feelings for both songs. And it's very polarizing. Some people are like, oh yeah, it's great. I love Mariah. I love Snow Halation. And then the other side, everyone's like, no, Snow Halation is so annoying, which I'm surprised. And they said, All I Want for Christmas is so annoying. And I was so surprised. And I'm smack dab in the middle of all the notifications. It's been an interesting time for
The
sure.
Great Civil War.
Oh my gosh. But it's been fun seeing everyone's thoughts and opinions on it. Oh gosh. Well, with that being said, I'll go ahead and play today's first music moment, and that is Snow Halation as covered by Prism Project. Here we go.
不思議だね今の気持ち空から降ってきたみたい特別な季節の色がときめきを見せる
Halation covered by
Absolutely
Prism
gorgeous.
Project. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to hear that. Wow, but what a wonderful way to really, ramp up the holiday season, I think.
Definitely. It's perfect way for us to go into this final week before, holidays and the
I agree.
festive
Oh my
season.
gosh. Yes, and if you haven't gotten the chance to stream it or share it yourself, here is a link. I'll drop it into the chat for you if you want to check it out later. Oh my gosh, please add it to your holiday playlist. I assure you it will. I hope that this will become your All I Want for Christmas Is You. Maybe every year you'll play the Prism Project Snow Halation. Oh my gosh! But Sarah, if you had the chance, or when you have the chance to sing a full 13-member song, what would you want that song to be? If you have any off the top of your head.
I mean, when I saw that, the night if you did Snow Halation, it would be following the Love Live theme.
Oh.
There's one in the Love Live Sunshine anime, which is also done around Christmas, called Awaken the Power, and it's actually the 9 Aqua girls plus the girls from Saint Snow.
Yeah.
So even though that isn't 13 technically, it's only 11, but we can always stretch it out.
We can make it work. That's what I had to do with Bad and Night. We had to kind of mess around with the line splits, but we made it work. So, well, I'm looking forward to that. Maybe you'll be the one in charge of that project come next year. Oh my gosh. But thank you for introducing that first music moment song. I think you actually recommended both songs for today. So would you like to introduce, the second song for us?
Well, I thought that this second song was one that would fit very, very well with the theme of the Prism Holiday Special happening this week. As you may or may not know, we announced it earlier today. Well, yesterday. My time's completely off. But it was the Minecraft build-off.
Oh, yes.
And so I thought a perfect song would be Rita Senpai's very own Craft Something.
Yes. If you don't know the story behind Craft Something, I don't know. We had a songwriting stream, and it was my first songwriting stream. So I thought, let's make this fun. Let's make a Minecraft song parody. So we did a Minecraft song parody to the tune of Say Something. And then, things happened, and now we have a full music video. So I'll go ahead and play it. So make sure you come out to the Prism Project. Great Minecraft build-off. We're going to compete in 2 teams to see who can build the best snowman. And it'll be up to you all to vote on which one's the best. Oh gosh, so here is Craft Something, a Minecraft parody. Sung by none other than your favorite cyber angel, Rita Kamishiro. Here it is.
Craft something, I'm getting low on food. It can be bred from the wheat I grew. Anything, even suspicious stew. My something, I'm getting low on tools. The caves, they're feeling so cold. I was searching for diamonds, got nothing but gold. Our world is getting so old. Feeling low from my core. Build something I'm getting rain onto. I'm sorry that creeper blew up the roof. Anytime I'd fix it with you. Make something I'm logging out on you. The fire, it's starting to fade. This world is too big, and I wish you'd have stayed. Craft something, I'm getting low on food. It can be bred from the wheat I grew. Anything even suspicious too. Whoa, whoa. Mind something, I'm getting low on tools. Build something, I'm getting rained onto. Make something.
And that was Craft Something. Oh my
It's
gosh.
beautiful.
Thank you. Seg, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Yes, put your candles up in the air. Oh gosh. Yeah, when Minecraft gets emotional. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to be such an emotional experience, but it ended up being very much so being an emotional experience. But I don't know, what did you think? We still need to play Minecraft together, Sarah.
Yes, we should. I'm slowly but surely getting better at Minecraft. I was a complete and total newbie to it when I started Prism. I played it before, but not to any real extent, and years ago. So coming to it again was very, very strange.
Oh God! Well, I am so looking forward to the Great Prism Build-Off. Unfortunately, I will not be playing as a contestant. Both Yura and I will be hosting the Great Prism Build-Off. But I'm excited to see what you have in store for us.
Thank you. It won't be much, so please reduce the expectations.
No, I think anything you do will be lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Well, with that being said, I think it's about time to move on to our main content, our last segment for today. But before we do, I believe we have a sponsor for today's
Yes.
a sponsor for today's RKNGL Radio. So, Sarah, would you like to do the honors and do our sponsor ad read for today?
Yes, of course. I am more than willing to, considering that this is a product that is close to my heart. So today our sponsor is Jin brand snake knives. Are you having trouble finding a bladed implement that can chop, slice, dice, and sacrifice with ease? With Jin brand snake knives, you can get right to the heart of the issue. Picture this. You're about to attend your VTuber mandated cult meeting, family steakhouse dinner, but you don't have the right cutting implement. That's where snake knives come in. 9 out of 10 ritual sacrifices agree that these one-of-a-kind snake knives are the best in the business, with an almost 100% success rate in putting a smile on our customers' faces. If you're one of the first 100 callers, we will throw in a second set of snake knives absolutely free. So don't delay, try snake knives today.
Wow. Rita wasn't kidding when she said you really do have that, radio voice. Snake knives. But yeah, what a
Thank
deal.
you.
Looks like the Archangels and Sarah Morris are ready to take your entire stock, it looks like. Oh my gosh.
I'm keen to see those orders come in.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you so much for being today's sponsored, our ad reader for today.
Yes, it was an absolute pleasure. I had a lot of fun reading it with my best ad voice.
And it looks like everybody enjoyed it as well. I see some snakes in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Well, with that, I think it's just about time to move on to our main content today, which is reflection and resolutions, setting realistic goals for the new year. Now, I don't remember how we came across this topic. I believe, were you the one who suggested that we talk about this topic? I can't quite remember.
I think so. I think we kind of arrived at this together when we were having a little discussion about what we wanted to do. And I guess since it is getting close to the end of the year and people are starting to think about, who they want to be in 2022, it's a good time to talk about, what happened in 2021 and what we're looking forward to in the next year.
Yeah, I feel like this time of year is always when I, become extra introspective?
I think so. I think that's right.
Oh gosh, sometimes I can't English. Oh gosh, and English is my main language. But yeah, I feel like I always find this time of year, I'm always just like, I like to spend a lot of extra time by myself and think about things and I don't know, meditate and things like that. So I guess we could start off today's main content by reflecting on this year. And, I'm so, especially since you've only been with us for a little bit over a month, I want to know what your thoughts are on your entire year. What was 2021 like for you?
2021 was definitely a year of change and sort of new beginnings. I mean, coming to join Prism Project was definitely something that I hadn't planned for at the beginning of the year. I feel like I throughout the year I kind of had to, during the process of just going through it, reevaluate what was best for me, what I wanted to do, whether I was happy, and I felt like even up until I ended up joining Prism, I wasn't entirely sure of like what I was really doing with myself. But I'm really glad that I was able to join Prism towards the end of the year, because it kind of gave me a renewed sense of purpose, and it sort of gave me something to strive towards again.
Oh my gosh, I'm really happy to hear that. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but hearing your story about how you found Prism Project and why you decided to join, and hearing that you're getting so much fulfillment from being a part of Prism Project just makes me really happy. And I'm really excited to see where you grow and how much of an even more amazing person you're going to become in the coming year. But I think even with just this past month, I think you've done a lot of amazing things, and I think you should be proud, because I'm sure everyone is proud of all that you've done.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my absolute honor and pleasure to be here. Like I definitely would not have expected that I'd be sitting here on RKNGL Radio talking with you even 3 months ago. Like
the honor is all mine.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask, since a year isn't just always good or just always bad, but I want your thoughts. What do you think were the highest moment of your year, and what was the lowest moment of your year?
I think the highest moment was definitely I guess it was the debut, like being able to debut as part of Prism and seeing kind of my work and efforts up until that point be realized. I think I said on my debut stream, like I've waited a really long time for this, and in retrospect, I think like it wasn't necessarily like just from knowing that I'd gotten into Prism and just that sort of time between then and the debut, but I think just in life, it's like I've waited a long time for kind of the culmination of my efforts to come to fulfillment.
You know, and I have to say, to this day, I still can't believe I'm so lucky to be here. And, you know, that feeling doesn't really, you know, go away. So I definitely feel that. Now, what would you say is your lowest point in the year?
I feel like, without going into
Right.
huge amounts of detail,
Sure,
but
sure.
I feel like I definitely like had a moment in probably the middle of the year where I wasn't really happy with how things were going for me, and I made a lot of big changes. Like I stopped working working a job that I wasn't very happy with. I just wasn't seeing, you know, a progression there. And that kind of set me on the path of thinking, you know, what do I want to do with my future? Like I knew that I had, you know, time ahead of me. I never think it's too late to change your path. I never think it's, you know, too late to find the thing that's right for you. But I think that was, even though it was a low point, I could still see that light. Knowing that, you know, I can take this to reevaluate and find something that more suited for me. And I think that ultimately led me to audition for Prism Project. And yeah, so even though there was a point where I was thinking, well, I have no idea what I want to do. I soon found a bit more guidance in joining Prism. So I'm very thankful.
Sob said it best. I think, you know, we're all very glad you decided to make that choice. And I mentioned this before. For those who don't know, Sara and I have this like mentor-mentee relationship in Prism Project. But I told her in one of our like chatting sessions, I guess, I told her that, you know, I may be her quote-unquote mentor, but I think she offers so much to me as well. And I just have to appreciate, you know, hearing that, you know, even though you were at like this low point and you felt like you weren't, you know, feeling like you were progressing in life in this job, it gives me a lot of, you know, hope as well, because I'm also, you know, hoping to no longer have to, you know, support myself with idle side job, and hearing you go through that journey and seeing how you're okay and you're doing fantastically and well for yourself, it gives me a lot of hope and it gives me a lot of excitement. So thank you so much for your wisdom to me.
Well, I'm excited for you to sort of go on your own journey of self-discovery and in relation to things like career, because I've definitely had my fair share of like, am I doing the right thing for me, and then making a change.
Right, most definitely.
I've had my fair share of those moments, but I'm really glad that I kind of listened to my gut, to my instinct, and realized that it wasn't right for me, made the change, and become a lot happier for it.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Truly, and you know, I think hearing that story, I think I've already said this before, but hearing that story, you know, inspires me and motivates me as well. Sang asks, do we have a Q&A section? And by the way, thank you for the donation, Sang. If you have any questions during this main content section, feel free to let us know and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. I have a question for you, actually, Sara. When it comes to reflecting, whether it's on a year or a week or even the day that you had, what is it that you usually think of when you reflect on such a long period of time?
I think I generally try and think about, I tend to think about mainly the positives, but also whether there's been any negatives to balance it out. I used to do this thing where at the end of each day I would write down, you know, 2 good things that happened to me and one bad thing and one like, less optimal thing, so I could sort of go, all right, this less optimal thing happened to me, but these 2, like, I can't let that overshadow the 2 good things that have happened to me. So I feel like that was I haven't done that for a little bit, but if I was to do it again, I feel like the good things would overwhelm the the negative things so far. But it was a good way to sort of reflect on whether, and just put things in perspective, like are the bad things really as bad as they seem? Take notice of the good that was in the world as well.
And I think that's why it's so important to do things like reflection and looking back, because I feel like if you don't take stock of not just the good things or not just the bad, but the bad things as well, you don't really get to see that change. You know, I feel like part of what makes life exciting is growth, and whether that's, you know, a big change, like, you know, maybe you're going into a new job or you're going into school, or if it's a small change, you know, if you feel like you've picked up a small habit that you think is really beneficial, I think being able to see that change and growth is always really motivating. And it looks like we have a question for you, and I think it's a great segue into our next portion of the main content, which is our resolutions for the coming year. Do you have a goal for next year? Maybe short term, mid-term, and long term?
I think I could probably encompass most of my goals without going into too much detail, because I probably will share this all with the Saramors and everyone later on, once I've completely formulated them. But I think the general gist of my resolutions for next year is to spend 2022 becoming the Sarah that I want to be in 2023. So it'll just be a year of, I think, working on myself and growing into that person, the ideal person that I want to become.
And I'm sure you're going to do a great job. Now, do you when you plan goals, or when you have a resolution, do you have a certain like methodology, or do you have a certain like school of thought that you follow when it comes to not just preparing goals for like a long term, like the upcoming year, but just goals in general?
I think with goals, it's good to have both that sort of general value towards it. So just, you know, becoming the person I want to be. But I think it's also very important to set yourself some concrete goals, like more tangible goals that you can measure yourself against, because it's hard to stay motivated towards a goal that is not defined, that is vague. So I feel like it is important to think about the steps that you're going to take to get there, and to try and get those quantifiable measures. And I know that you do this a lot, Rita Senpai, with becoming like your idol trainee program and your evaluation weeks and things. Like, how I would like to know from you, like, how do you go about planning your goals, and is it very oriented around distinct measures?
Oh gosh, I like to do a little bit of mix of both, right? So you've probably heard this, and I am sure many of you all have heard this. So sorry if I sound like a broken record to you all, but the whole idea of having SMART goals, do you know what I'm talking about? I forget what each one stands for, but for those who don't know what SMART goals are, I think there's it's such a good like time management and goal management tool to use, and it essentially stands for something, S being specific, so you keep it simple, significant, sensible, and it has to be pinpointed. It can't be too vague, and being measurable, so it can be a quantitative or a qualitative measure, but really a measure that has meaning and is motivating and is achievable. So it's something that you can eventually attain. So you don't want to say, I'm going to have 1 million subs in a week. That's just not possible. So, but you also have to be able to challenge yourself a little bit. So if you have a group goal, make sure you agree upon it and make sure it's attainable. R, I think, is relevant. So again, reasonable, results-based, realistic. And then last one is T, so it's time-bound. So give yourself a window of time. So in the next week, or in the next month, or in the next year. But also maybe consider like, just different sort of like, maybe not a specific amount of time, but saying it's time sensitive or something. So maybe if you can prioritize it amongst other goals. So I need to do this first. Rather, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think I'd heard of it before, but I never really applied it to my own like goal setting. But I think that's actually an excellent sort of rule to keep in mind to keep them smart, because I think it'll make them a lot more achievable than just having very ill-defined goals.
And, I think it can apply to any, it doesn't have to be a big goal. It can be like, oh, I need to do my, I need to clean my home today. I'm going to do that in 2 hours. I'm going to do this specific part of my house in 2 hours. So I think it can really, apply to any part of life. I think one of the archangels said Rita putting on her PM hat. I think this is something that anybody can use. And I think there's also word around the street that people also are adding an ER. So smarter goals, so evaluated and reviewed. So, going back and once you've achieved your goal, kind of reviewing how it went, maybe next time if I'm doing a similar goal, how am I going to be better?
Yeah.
I guess that's how I would go about creating goals. So, Archangels and Sarah Morse, do you have any goals that you'd like to share?
I hope you've all been thinking about like where you want to be next year and what you want to be working towards and achieving, because it's a good time. I think the holidays are definitely a good time for reflection.
It's a good time for both. I think we're everyone's kind of doing this transition from like reflecting into creating resolutions, and it's such an interesting time of change. And for some it can be a little scary. So I wish you the best of luck and know that we are supporting you as well. But for those maybe who aren't, I guess, too used to crafting resolutions, there's actually another. I think I've shared this quite a few times on my streams before, but do you know who CGP Grey is? It's a YouTuber.
No, I don't think I'm familiar.
They're like a knowledge YouTuber, so like think pieces and like science and things like that. But they kind of have this
interesting.
And they have this idea called a year theme. So rather than a resolution, you have a theme. So rather than being like, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds this year, instead saying this is a year of health. So rather than creating goals, and if you don't meet them, you feel bad, you at least limit your choices, right? So rather than I'm gonna lose 10 pounds, a year of health means you go to a restaurant and you're given a menu, and automatically you take off some of the choices because your year of health says, okay, I know I can't eat these kinds of things, but I can eat these kinds of things in line with my year of health. So it's not so much as having to work towards something, but giving yourself almost like a lens in which to focus your decisions that you make throughout the year, if that makes sense.
It feels like a mantra, something to kind of innately hold.
Right, so if you can imagine like a map, right? You have a map with a bunch of different pathways, right? And you have to get to that one end goal, right, of losing 10 pounds, and you don't know which path to take, right? There's so many different things to get to that goal, but I feel like a theme kind of just narrows it down to a few paths for you. So you don't have to wonder if a certain pathway is correct. Does that make sense? I know that's, very confusing. I think CGP Grey puts it in a better...
I think that's excellent. I think that's an excellent sort of thing to consider, especially like if you don't want to just set concrete goals, but kind of just have a total mindset, like change your mindset in the new year. I think that's excellent. It makes sense.
So in your case, it would be the year of. I know you mentioned your goal before, but I want you to try putting it in your own words. Sara's year of like.
I think like maybe Sata's year of growth. So think about how everything that I do will help me grow as a person in some way.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm so excited for you, and I'm excited to see catch up with you every once in a while and see how that goes. I have to say my year would be a year of passion, in that I want to choose things that make me happy, or I think are closer to my passion. So choosing things and making decisions that will bring me closer to things that make me happy and feel inspired and motivated.
That's beautiful. I think that really suits you. And I think that'll be it'll be incredible to see you follow your passions and realize them.
And I've noticed some of the archangels, there are goals that they've been sharing with us, and the Saramors as well. Some of you all have some very big and important goals, and whether you create, tangible, more smart goals, or if you create a theme for yourself, I believe in you all, and I believe in the power for you all to create change and really grow this coming year. Wow. I'm so excited.
I see some excellent goals coming through in the chat, and it is inspiring to see your goals as well. So please continue sharing them with myself and Rita.
And like whether it's losing weight, or I see that Renardo is learning programming, and NTL is just trying to survive the first year of university, And I'd have to say, hearing everyone's goals is also like another really important part of going into the new year, keeping ourselves accountable and being inspired by all of your hard work. And I always say this, but the Prismers are all also hardworking, and seeing you all, work or go to school, or really just, try to be better, or try to survive and try to, live and be good. It really inspires me to be the best that I can. So thank you all for sharing. I agree. But Sara, before we go into our off-air Zatsudan segment, do you have anything you want to share with the archangels, whether it's in regards to our main content for today, the stories that we shared earlier? What do you have to say?
I would like the archangels and the Saramors watching this to just feel inspired from this stream to, I guess, chase their goals next year, or to take some time to both reflect on the year that's been, both the good and the bad, as well as to look forward to 2022, because I think it's going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to spending more time with everyone. I'm looking forward to spending more time with Rita Senpai as well. I hope we can do more collabs and things. I think it would be I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I think so.
I've had a blast today already. So
I'm happy to hear that. Oh gosh. Well, with that, archangels, as always, you can stay with us while we're off air, quote unquote, as we zatsudan and read some super chats and Streamlabs. But what did you think about today's Archangel Radio, Sara? Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun. I am incredibly honored to. Am I the first guest on Archangel Radio?
You are.
It is an incredible honor. So thank you so much for inviting me. I've had a lot of fun, and it was also a lot of fun to just think about this beforehand and to prepare for today, because it really got me thinking about not only stories and wanting to get and sort of lit a fire under me to want to get back into reading fiction novels in particular, but also just to take stock of the year that's been and forward to the year ahead.
Me too. Well, thank you so much again. You're more than welcome to stay, everyone, for a few minutes after we're off air. But thank you all so much for listening to another episode of Archangel Radio, and I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, and evening.
Thank you so much.
And off air, yay!
That feels good.
Oh gosh, what did you all think? Did you think Sara did a good job? I think so. Oh gosh.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Of course. Thank you I'm so honored. The honor really is all mine for having you here.
Oh.
Truly. Yes, see, everybody enjoyed it. Yeah, see, Sara did great. Sara was excellent. Yeah, super comfy.
Thank you.
Super comfy. Yeah, I think I'm really grateful that, Sara has such a great energy about her. I feel like it was so easy to talk to her and bounce off of her. And you are so wise. I always feel so, I don't want to say insecure. I always feel, bad being your mentor, because I feel like, what do I have to offer you? I feel like
you have so much to offer. Every time I speak to you about anything to do with like the mentoring that you've been giving me, I honestly, I learn something new each time. So please do not count yourself out, Rita Senpai. You were wonderful.
Thank you. And Dechafet put it right. I feel like that hour really did fly by. Oh my gosh. Fortunately or unfortunately, I am babysitting later today, so I did tell Sara I have a hard stop, but we're actually really good on time. So good job to us.
Yes.
And it looks like Alka Ios is excited for their new snake knives to arrive. Now you have to tell the story
very soon.
What's the story behind snake knives?
So Snake Knives was kind of a little in-joke with myself and the Saramores during a drawing stream I was doing a couple of weeks ago, where against all of my I was gonna say better judgment, but it wasn't really myself who put it out there. The idea of Sarah being a cult leader seemed to propagate the chat from my Tropico stream, because in the game of Tropico you play a dictator of a small island. So I feel like people thought that was my personality. So during the drawing stream the next day, they started talking about things like cult meetings and what they would get if they joined my cult. And I jokingly said that they would get a free set of steak knives, to which someone in the chat joked, would they be snake knives?
No.
And it really just ran from there. I designed some snake knife prototypes.
Wow, prototyping! Oh gosh, I'm excited. I'll have to place an order as well.
Yes, yeah. If you attend 10 meetings in a row, you get a set of snake knives. So,
I need to start attending these meetings.
It's okay, Rita. For you, I'm more than happy to slip you a freebie.
Oh my god, I'm honored. Wow. What did I do to deserve this? Oh gosh. Atlas Den says, I hope to see more Sara x Rita collabs. Would you be so kind as to have me on your channel?
Oh, of course. I would love to. We should think of something that we can do together, whether it's a game or whether it's something different, like a sort of themed Zatsudan or something like that. I think it would be very, very fun to have you.
Oh gosh. Ooh, a Minecraft collab maybe. Well, I'll see you
need
on
to teach
Tuesday.
me.
I'm actually trying to build a Gen 4 themed hotel or like resort behind Prism Land. I started it with.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, I started it with Ebby, but I've been knocking it out little by little. Oh gosh. So let me pull up the stream labs and the super chats before I forget. I always get so caught up in the Zatsudan. Zatsudan project. It always happens.
Yes.
It always happens like that. Oh gosh, let me see if I can get that pulled up. I feel like, oh my gosh, for those who attended the Snow Halation, I don't know if it was a Snow Halation after party, but the Secret Santa, there was so many unexpected technological issues, because the tech rehearsal beforehand was wonderful. I thought it went off without a hitch, but strangely enough, like right before we started, we had a technological issue, and poor Iku felt so bad, but it really wasn't her fault at all. But I figured I'd throw my hat in there and help out, and it was so stressful trying to get everything set up. But I'm glad that I also had a couple of technological hiccups, when we did the switch over. But I think all things considered, we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think it went really well, and that which was very, very smooth. I could not even tell. It was so seamless.
Really? Oh my gosh. Our Archangels and Prismers, for those who attended, did you all notice the switch over? I mean, obviously I said it happened, but I think it was pretty seamless in my opinion. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and read some super chats. Okay. Looks like we have one from Sang today. Thank you so much for your super chat. This is the candles from Craft Something.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I look forward to the date when we can do like a 3D live, and then we could have like an audience like waving like candles or light sticks. Oh my gosh. Do you want to do a 3D live or a concert or something?
I definitely love to. I think it'd be so much fun, and I I would love to. I think it's just the idea of both being able to sing and dance as well.
Yeah.
I think would be really fun.
Do you like dancing?
Yes, I do actually. I used to do a
love
lot of it. So I would love to be able to show it off with a 3D model.
Do you have a favorite dance?
I used to do a lot of really like BB J-pop dances. I'd learn like the dance covers and things and do those.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever done like social dance?
Yeah, I think I remember joining this little like social dance club in school. That we would learn like a different style of like ballroom or Latin dancing. I think were generally what they would
Do you have a favorite?
go through. So, what would be my favorite? I mean, I do like I like a classic waltz is very fun. It's very.
I guess
fun.
I owe you a waltz too. I brought up how I also was in a social dance class, and I told Iku I owed her a waltz for when we do 3D live. So maybe you and I can waltz as well. Oh my gosh, that'd be so.
We could always do one of the other ballroom dances as well, like
Oh yeah, we could do
a
like a Latin dance
or a cha-cha, a samba.
That'd be so fun. Maybe we could do like a tango. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Now, were you a lead or a follow?
I guess like generally like if it was paired boys and girls, I would generally be following rather than leading, but I can go either way.
Okay. Yeah, I think I tried being a lead, and it's actually really fun. I will have to say, being the one to make the decision, like the dance decisions, is always. I'm not very good at being decisive, so that's what I liked about being a follow. Was because I don't know, I just got to go with the flow and read what the lead wanted to do and just follow along. But I think it'd be fun being a lead. But we'll work out all the details once we start preparing the 3D live.
Sounds good.
I also really want to play viola. I think that was one of the other things I wanted to do in the 3D live.
That would be lovely. I should properly learn an instrument so I can contribute to the Prism Orchestra. I've only know a bit of guitar.
Oh, guitar! I know Nia plays violin and Yura plays violin. Maybe you can play the cello.
Yeah, I'll learn the cello for you. It's fine.
Wow! Oh my god! I used to own a cello. I never learned how to play the cello, but my little sister learned how to play the cello. So I had access to a cello for a little bit, but we had to get rid of it for money purposes, unfortunately. Oh gosh.
If I find I'll search like Facebook Marketplace or something for one of those used cellos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like a student one.
I would love. That's actually my goal for the coming years, to put together a VTuber quartet. I think that'd be lots of fun. But anyway, thank you, Sang, for the super chat. Before I forget, I don't want to forget about the Streamlabs too. My forgetful self, as always. Oh, where did it go? Uh-oh, it's gone. Where did it go? You saw it, right? For a little bit. There it is. It's back. Sig, thank you for the donation. It says, this program is sponsored by Prismers. Need someone to talk to? Need someone to KP? Subscribe to any Prism agent and get the chance to Zatsudan and KP with us. Don't forget to use the coupon codes Pawn Project. Get a free chance to Zatsudan and KP. I love that. Wait, can I use that for our next ad read?
That sounds like the next sponsor reading for sure.
Oh gosh, I think so. That sounds about right. Oh my gosh, Alka Io says, and then through mysterious circumstances, the used cello Sara buys is Rita's old one, passed down indirectly to her. Well, that cello will have to travel very far.
It would have to travel quite far. But maybe it will have made its way.
Yeah, maybe. You never
across
know.
to virtual Australia.
For those who have ever traveled with instruments, anything bigger than a viola is so stressful. Like I've already bringing a viola as a carry-on is already very stressful. But you either rent a cello in the destination, you either buy a seat for a cello, and I think people prefer buying a seat for their instrument Because the only other option, and I think this is like the last option people want, is putting it underneath the plane with all the luggage. And I think what happened is, when I was traveling with an orchestra once, the cello broke en route
Oh,
because it got crushed in the plane's storage area.
heartbreaking.
I know, heartbreaking, but yeah, traveling or shipping instruments is such an interesting experience. Oh gosh. But Sara, is there anything you wanted, to say? Any last Zatsudan topics before we wrapped up for today?
I guess like as the last themed festive Zatsudan topic is I wonder if any of the people in chat, Sadamos, Archangels, do you have any fun Christmas or holiday plans, or just even having a break, even if you don't celebrate it? I hope you get time off. It would really, I know a few people who just due to the nature of their jobs have to work over Christmas. Are you planning a Christmas stream yourself, Rita Senpai?
I am. I'm having a holiday party the evening of the 25th PST, so morning.
That sounds fun.
What are you doing for the holidays, whether it's streaming or otherwise?
I have family obligations for days post. So my last stream before I go on I guess like the holiday break is Christmas Eve my time. I'll be doing a little Christmas Zatsudan. Maybe I might open up my Maras beforehand and just have people just some things that we can talk about. But then I have so much extended family I need to visit, and every day is basically donated to each one of them to spend time with.
That's so fun. Well, I hope you'll get the chance to rest as well. I know socializing and being with family can also be tiring, but fun, I'm sure, but tiring nonetheless. Gosh, it looks like Archangels are spending time with family, taking some trips, cleaning room. Oh, that's a good one. Gotta clean your room.
I will do some life admin as well during my break and just get everything in order. I need to do a little bit of tidying as well.
I really want to clean up my computer files. I keep telling myself, next time I have a big break, I'm going to organize my computer, but it never happens and it gets worse and worse. So maybe one of these days, maybe when I become a full-time agent, that'll be one of the first things I do when I go on a quick celebratory break. Oh gosh. Well, Sara, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm happy to hear that you had lots of fun. I'm happy to hear that the Archangels had lots of fun. And Archangels, if you don't know Sara, if you haven't checked her channel out, if you haven't subscribed to her, please do. What are you doing if you haven't yet already? and a huge shout out to today's Bread Heist leaders. Our sponsors for today's Archangel Radio. Archangel Radio is funded in part by the Sang program and the Sang Foundation as well. So thank you so much for your generous support, not only to the Bread Heist leaders today, but to all of the Archangels and the Sodomores who are either watching this live or maybe you're joining us from Bod Gang. Thank you so much. And Sara, did you want to, give yourself a little outro, maybe share some exciting things that are coming up for you?
Well, thank you for having me once again, Rita Senpai. And everyone, this week I have quite a few fun holiday-themed streams coming up. I'll be doing an unarchived Christmas karaoke. So I am not I'm not 100% sure what the set list will be yet, but there will be quite a few fun out of the box Christmas songs that I think will be fun to sing. So please come to that. It will be unarchived, so you have to catch it live or else you'll miss it.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. That sounds so fun. Anything else?
Thank you. I'll be part of the Prism builder in Minecraft. As I said, please don't expect too much, but I will do my best. I will do my best and try to, forget the rest. So
yeah, it's gotta go on maximum overdrive.
And then I'll be, this is very not on brand for Christmas theming, but I will be playing part 2 of Outlast stream, which is terrifying. And if you want me to break up all of this comfy holiday spirit with some screaming, you can feel free to come to that. And then, as I said
Your last
before,
scream of the year.
Holidays are done on Christmas Eve, my time, the 23rd, for most people who are in US time zones. And then I will be wishing you all a very happy holidays, and I will be back the following week for more streams.
Oh, that sounds absolutely wonderful. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure everyone's going to try their best to make it out to those streams. And one last time before we end today, thank you so much, Sarah, for being my guest here today. As always, I'm the idol to give you the wings to fly, Cyber Angel Rita Kamishiro, at your service. Bye! Thank you for coming! Bye!
届けて切なさには名前をつけようかスノーハレーション
Wow, that was so good. Thank you so much for being part of today's secret ending. And do you have any last parting words with everyone?
Just thank you all for coming, and I had such a wonderful time. Thank you, Rita Senpai, for having me. And yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you. And again, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!
Bye.